Blessed good morning, honorable members, and those under the sound of my voice. Today in our Moments of Impact segment, I'll be delving into part 3 of our leadership series entitled Transformational Leadership. Transformational leadership is defined as a leadership style that aims to encourage, empower, and motivate team members to maximize their potential, go the extra mile, and achieve greatness. Becoming a transformational leader requires you to be an effective communicator. Communication is the bridge that connects you to the people because it influences thoughts, feelings, and actions. Today, I want to share with you 3 practical ways to develop effective communication skills. Number 1, communication must be honest and transparent. As a transformational leader, always ensure you communicate with honesty and transparency. Tell the truth all the time, even when it's not convenient. After all, no one wants to be lied to or misled. Be straight with your communication to those you lead, and don't seek to deceive people in any form or fashion. Number 2, become a better listener. Communication is a two-way street. Effective communication requires great listening skills. Transformational leaders must be great listeners. One of the greatest communication mistakes leaders make is they do not listen to understand. They listen to reply. There is a difference. And finally, last but not least, all communication should be respectful. Becoming an effective communicator requires you to respect people in the way you communicate with them. As a transformational leader, you must never belittle, degrade, or talk down to people or make them feel inferior. Be very careful with your tone, your pitch, and what you say. Never use obscene or abusive language to communicate, because no one wants to be talked down to. Everyone deserves to be treated with respect, dignity, and honor. In conclusion, as a transformational leader, never allow your emotions to dictate how you communicate to others. Words are powerful and can do major damage. As we know, death and life is in the power of the tongue. So before you say something you will regret, don't say anything at all. Always remember, just like the toothpaste that can't go back into the tube once it comes out, so are the words that come out of your mouth. They can never be taken back. Selah, think and act on these things. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you, Lord, for sparing our lives to see yet another day. As we begin this day, we ask you, Almighty God, to go ahead of us and make every crooked path straight. We pray today, Lord, for your continued grace and mercy upon our nation. For without you, we are nothing. We pray, God, for your peace to prevail in our land. And, oh Lord, we called upon you today to be our shield and our buckler. We call upon you, Almighty God, to be our defender, our way maker, our bridge over troubled waters. Now, Father, we pray for our political leaders. And we ask, oh God, that you would heal those who are battling physical ailments. Heal those who are dealing with mental, relational, and financial issues in their lives. Show up, Almighty God, on their behalf and give them the breakthrough they need. We ask you today, Almighty God, to be with our political leaders as they conduct the business of this nation. Give them strength. Give them the willpower needed to execute their duties. Oh God, bless the proceedings of this honorable house today. These things we ask in no other name, but in Jesus' name we pray. And all of God's people say, amen. Amen. Let us pray the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Good morning, honorable members. When we suspended last night, we were debating a compendium of budget bills. I presume the member for Exum and Ragged Island is ready to start.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy. It is a profound honor to rise once more on behalf of the magnificent people of Ragged Island and the 365 islands of the Exumers, who I am grateful to represent for the second consecutive term. Mr. Deputy, God has been exceedingly good to us in the past 4 years. Yes. And I am extremely grateful to him for his mercy and grace. And when I say us, Mr. Deputy, I do not speak solely to the Progressive Liberal Party or the members of this House, or those of us who have seen better times after a prolonged period of darkness in the wake of Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic, and the collective national horror that was the Minister administration and the competent authority. And let me be clear for the avoidance of doubt that when I say the Minister administration, I'm also talking about East Grand Bahama and Marco City. And whilst there are far too many who still struggle, we have seen continued economic growth and increasing fiscal stability. Our government finances are better than ever, yes, as we have backed away from the fiscal cliff with upward growth projections and an improved economic outlook. Yes. But we have been most fortunate in that our Creator has continued to bestow amongst us and upon us the gift of life, with which we can continue to work and worship and make wonders of the tools God has given us. And to that I say thank you. Before I get into the meat of my budget presentation, let me first say that, as the Prime Minister rightly pointed out, there have been a lot of politics coming from the other side during this budget debate. Of course, that should be no shocker, considering that the leader of the opposition coined the phrase in his book, Politics, in 2003. And 20 years later, he appears to have dusted off the playbook to define his own leadership. It's not working, mind you. The people see through it. But there is no doubt he has studied the playbook and is unsuccessfully running the plays. It is actually somewhat shocking to me, the shallowness and petulance with which they have approached this debate, Mr. Deputy. They're off to a very bad start. Petulant, Mr. Deputy, almost childishly rude and impatient in their responses, unable to hold themselves together to respond cogently and at the appropriate time. I believe the book Politics talked about this too, coincidentally. During the Prime Minister's opening of his budget debate, he was interrupted repeatedly, petulantly, by members of the opposite side on supposed points of order that had no point at all. And then when the Speaker admonished them to let the member for Cat Island, Rumpke, and San Salvador talk, the member for Marco City snapped from his chair and he said, "We will not be silenced."
That's right.
But here's the thing, I want Marco City to understand that no one is trying to silence him.
No.
We only want him to abide by the rules.
Yes.
You know, I haven't had the time yet to read Marco City's now infamous book, but I wonder if there's a chapter where you abide by the rules that you promise to play by, or is it just politics? No matter the place or the oath you take, yes, no matter what politics you aim to play, the rules of this place still apply. If you don't want to follow them, you all know what to do.
That's right.
Speaking of politics, Mr. Deputy, the member for East Grand Bahama appears to be a quick study. East Grand Bahama, I want to remind this House, is a former Minister of State for Finance. He carried the red briefcase, Mr. Deputy. He sits in the seat of the former Minister of Finance who resigned under the competent authority, but we don't need to get into that today. However, I contend that East Grand Bahama, when he spoke last week, misled Parliament when he said that there was a surplus previously. He laid a document trying to prove it. That was quickly disproved. In fact, disproved by the very document he laid. The opposition plays politics, Mr. Deputy, but they seem to never learn that governance is serious business. Right. I also recall that the member for East Grand Bahama said that VAT reduction from 12% to 10% would result in over $100 million reduction in VAT receipts. That wasn't true either, Mr. Deputy. VAT collections grew in 2022-2023 fiscal cycle to $871 million, and is projected in the upcoming fiscal cycle to grow even further. We told them that we would grow the economy and we would grow tax revenues, and that is what we did. Yes, sir. Mr. Deputy, as it pertains to this budget, let me firstly express my deepest gratitude to Prime Minister Davis, the Honorable Philip Edward Brave Davis, for his steadfast leadership, his vision, and deep commitment to the people of this country. Yes. I also extend heartfelt thanks to the magnificent people of Exuma and Ragged Island, whose enduring trust, support, and partnership continue to inspire and ground me in this important work. It is because of them that I serve with passion and resolve, and I reaffirm my commitment to bring a relentless advocate and continue to be a relentless advocate for their progress and for their prosperity. Mr. Deputy, as I rise in support of this budget, I cannot do so without acknowledging the extraordinary work of my colleagues seated throughout this chamber and the other place, men and women who have shouldered the weight of the people's business with discipline, innovation, seriousness, and resolve. As I just indicated, the member for Cat Island, Rumpke, and San Salvador, our Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, has led this administration with vision and purpose, navigating us through post-pandemic turbulence, economic shocks, and climate threats, all while holding firm to the promise of expanding opportunities one island at a time. Yes. His stewardship of this economy has resulted in growth across multiple sectors, yes, and a resounding vote of confidence from international financial agencies. Yep. And not to put too fine point on it, but above being a leader, he is a man who cares. Yes. He cares whether children have breakfast before schools. He cares whether our elderly can live lives of dignity. He cares about protecting the vulnerable amongst us, the rights of women and children, and he cares about equality and fairness through the lens of race, gender, age, and religion, and compassion as a human. This is where great leadership begins, and he hasn't done it alone. He has a great team. The member for Tall Pines has moved the needle in health and wellness. Under his leadership, we have seen significant investments in health infrastructure, including the procurement of ambulances and medical vehicles for underserved islands, the modernization of facilities, and a renewed focus on mental health and community wellness, longevity, and regenerative medicine. The member for South and Central Eleuthera, our Minister of Works, has had boots on the ground daily, from roadworks to flood mitigation to docks, bridges, and a massive infrastructure rollout across New Providence and the Family Islands. Yeah. The work has been relentless, yep, the pace breathtaking, and the impact undeniable, and the timeliness, he's never late, Mr. Deputy. Yes. You sound good. The member for Angliston has been a force unto our own, ensuring our students are better fed, with $1 million spent on making sure they get free breakfast, making sure that they are safer with new security measures she's outlined, and that our educational system moves towards more modern technological integration and renewed support for educators. And then the member for Carmichael and Marathon have worked hand in hand with communities to relaunch urban renewal. And to revitalize housing programs, particularly through the Department of Housing push to expand home ownership in growing constituencies and communities like Carmichael and Southern New Providence, and a creative push for rent to own. The member for Golden Gates has delivered consistent results in labor and public service reform, advocating for fairness, training, and modernization in the public sector.
What's the point of order?
The chair recognizes the honourable member for St. Anne's.
Just would like for Exhuman Ragged Island to confirm if he just stated that the member for Angliston has spent $1 million on the breakfasts, or did he mean that there's been 1 million breakfasts served?
She served 1 million.
He did say she spent 1 million on breakfasts.
She served 1 million. The member for Golden Gates has delivered consistent results in labor and public service reform, advocating for fairness, training, and modernization in the public sector, ensuring our people get the service they deserve from the state, and managing harmonious relationships with the labor movement, despite a little noise in the market by some. The member for Pine Ridge has revitalized Grand Bahama's investment outlook, facilitating major projects, embracing the prospects of Africa, improving investor confidence, and delivering on a roadmap for economic resurgence. It's already bearing fruit. Amongst others, the Beautiful Grand Bahama program collab with local leaders and entrepreneurs, community empowerment, and government grants. The member for Fox Hill has worked diligently in the area of foreign affairs, ensuring our diplomacy matches our ambition on the global stage. He's reestablished our place in the world.
That's right.
And he has been a fierce defender of the PLP against the nonsense of the opposition. And let's not forget the member for Pinewood, whose oversight in social services has translated into real felt relief for Bahamians, navigating the hardest seasons of life, ensuring the safety net holds strong and the ladder of opportunity is still within reach. The member for Pinewood is also committed to bring relief to the people of Pinewood on the dangerous flooding that has taken place for more than a generation. And the list goes on and on. I can talk about Freetown and his fight against crime. I can talk about Garden Hills, who oversees myriad programs that have helped uplift our youth and put them on a path to a promising future. I could talk about our Attorney General and the heavy lifting he has done with tax fairness and widespread legislative reforms that he has made look effortless. But it's been one hell of a task he has risen to. I could talk about Elizabeth and her steady work in energy reform. I could talk about the member for Centerville and his transformative work in agriculture and food security. I could talk about Fort Charlotte, keeping our borders safe from illegal, irregular migration, and providing steady, visionary leadership over the many decades, and I ask you to applaud him. I could talk about Golden Isles and Yamacraw for supporting the Prime Minister's work in climate advocacy and resilience. I could go on and on, but we would be here all day. But I shout out my colleagues to show St. Barnabas that we are about results.
That's right. Pure results.
We're about governance. We're about teamwork. Whether you are a chairman, a parliamentary secretary, or on the back bench, your contribution matters. These members have not just occupied seats and kept them warm, they have served with purpose. And together as a cabinet, as a government, we have advanced a transformative agenda that puts Bahamians first spreads opportunity more equitably, and sets the stage for continued national progress.
Yes.
Mr. Deputy, nearly 4 years ago, the Bahamian people gave us a mandate to move this country forward.
That's right.
And since then, we haven't missed a beat. Not to say that there haven't been missteps. Not to say that there isn't more to do. But we have stayed the course.
That's right.
Not to say that we have delivered on every commitment. But we do have at least another year left, notwithstanding the politicians opposite, standing firm in their delusion about an early election. I've never seen a crew so eager for a beatdown.
The last
But here we are. Here we are. Every budget cycle. Every budget cycle under this administration has been about forward momentum.
Yes.
And we have stayed focused, as we will today, Mr. Deputy.
That's right.
We have delivered on promises.
That's right. Steady as she goes.
And we have built a better Bahamas.
Amen.
One island, one community, one Bahamian at a time.
Yes.
And today, I speak to this House on behalf of a sector
Yes.
that has been and remains
No money is still there, though.
the cornerstone
Many
of that progress
still there, though.
that we have enjoyed,
Y'all forget that.
and that is tourism. And not to be cliche, but to be perfectly real, or to keep it 100 like the young people say, tourism is the lifeblood of our economy.
That's right.
It is the driver of nearly every other industry and the engine that powers the dreams of thousands of Bahamians from every walk of life. And let us make no mistake about it. And when we talk about national revenue growth, about serving GDP figures, and about rising employment numbers and lowering unemployment, we are fundamentally talking about the growth in our tourism sector. And in 2024, we achieved historic highs in tourism with record-setting arrivals, record-setting revenues, and record-setting optimism.
Yes.
We ended 2024 with over 9 million cruise visitors and a total of over 11.2 million visitors to our shores. We are growing visitor spend. We are strengthening our partnerships with cruise lines, and we are resolutely focused on growing stopovers. And for our part, these record-setting numbers were the result of targeted marketing, strategic partnerships, robust policy, and tireless work of our teams across the Ministry of Tourism, Investments, and Aviation. And today, I hail this team, our Permanent Secretary, Ms. Lisa Anderson, our Director General of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, who is in Florida at this time carrying the flag of our country,
Yes.
our Deputy Director General, Mr. Kenneth Roma, who is also the Director of Aviation, our Deputy Chair of the Tourism Development Corporation, Mr. Anthony Boswick, our Deputy Director of Aviation, Mr. Milo Butler III, who are all here. And you know, I hear all the armchair pundits talking about diversifying away from tourism.
Nonsense.
We must actively seek to build around tourism.
Yes. Yes.
We must respect it, and we continue to build it and benefit from it. And I am confident that tourism will continue to be the leading industry for the Bahamas during our lifetimes. And yes, we have more work to do, but our people are indeed feeling it. Guests are staying longer and spending more and returning. And this is not luck. It is the result of strategies that we are unapologetically creating opportunities for Bahamians.
Right.
and to all those teams and industry partners and many more, the stakeholders and the 400 employees of the Ministry of Tourism, I say thank you for your diligence.
Yes.
And whenever you have others attempting to denigrate the great work that you are doing, I ask you to continue to stand loud and stand proud. And when we speak of a rebound in our tourism sector, we speak not in generalities or hopeful predictions, you know. We speak in numbers, in fact, and in year-over-year growth that reflects strong strategic execution across markets. From January to April of this year, foreign air and sea arrivals to the Bahamas reached 4.3 million, a significant increase over 3.9 million recorded for the same period in 2024. This represents a year-over-year of 11.7%, and even more strikingly, a 65% increase when compared to the same period in 2019, our last full pre-pandemic year. So let's examine this growth in a little more detail. Nassau, Paradise Island, our flagship destination, saw total arrivals grow from 1.8 million in 2024 to 2.05 million this year. That's an increase of 10% per year, year over year, and 26.4% compared to 2019. Importantly, Nassau Paradise Island welcomed over 493,000 air arrivals from January to April 2025, compared to 500,000 in the same period, a slight decrease, yet it's still up 9.1% from the 2019 figures of 498,000. This modest dip in air-only arrivals to Nassau Paradise Island is because of challenges, and I will explain, as well as the constrained room capacity, as noted by the Central Bank in its latest economic development release. Grand Bahama remains the fastest growing island, with air arrivals up 14.5%. And we are confident that Celebration Key, that will open in Freeport next month, will send sea arrivals skyrocketing as well.
There you go.
Abaco has rebounded remarkably well, registering 173,000 arrivals this year, up 7% from 2024 and 48% over 2019. Abaco's air arrivals have grown 13.7% year over year, second only to Grand Bahama. This steady upward trend speaks to the growing appeal of our family island experiences and our deliberate push to diversify tourism, driving traffic to all of our 16 island destinations. Bimini, which began accelerating cruise visitors only recently in 2022, saw a massive 29.7% increase in total arrivals this year. That's an extraordinary 152% increase from 2019. And whilst air arrivals to Bimini declined by 11.5% this year, this is largely a reflection of construction during the survey period for the new airport and the temporary cruise berth adjustments. However, I will tell you, Mr. Deputy, that we are anticipating announcing new international airlift arrivals for Bimini real soon.
Excellent.
I will talk some today, I'll keep some, Mr. Deputy.
The chair
Did the member for Exuma and Ragged Island say that airline had declined in Bimini by 10.5%? Was it 10.5%, Mr. Deputy?
Mr. Deputy, whilst air arrivals continue to hold its own year over year, sea arrivals are clearly overcompensating. Elutra showed a major increase of 55.7% in arrivals from last year and 59.2% over 2019. And the only thing holding Elutra back right now is the lack of available rooms. So South and Central Elutra, build more rooms. Interest is extremely high. Room capacity remains a challenge. and that is currently being addressed with the development of many new properties. Exuma, which was at its peak in 2024, experienced about a 10% dip in air arrivals over the first 4 months of this year, which is attributed to the redevelopment of Sandals Resort into a larger, more family-friendly beaches resort this year that will accommodate more guests and further bolsters Exuma's economy. Smaller popular islands like Cat Island, Long Island, and San Salvador are also worthy of great note. San Salvador saw a small but meaningful 4.2% increase from last year.
Yes, there you go.
And many islands supported by our family island airlift expansion are being positioned for steady, sustainable tourism growth. In total, the Bahamas received 660,000 air arrivals from January to April, compared to 662,000 during the same period last year, a fractional decline of 0.4%, but up 1% from 2019. The broader picture, however, is one of success. We have achieved record-breaking levels in total foreign arrivals. And that's the real headline, Mr. Deputy.
There you go.
These numbers are not coincidental. They are the result of deliberate strategy,
Hard work.
expanding airlift, strengthening our tourism brand globally,
Yes.
diversifying our offering, investing in infrastructure, and supporting our people.
Yes.
And whilst there is still work to do in some islands, the momentum is undeniable.
Yes.
The Bahamas is not just back, it is booming. And notwithstanding our success and our regional leadership in tourism, we cannot and we will not rest on our laurels. There are challenges that we will face in the coming months that I will speak to now. These challenges include softening in the travel tourism markets, and the forward bookings bear this out. Much of this can be attributed to the geopolitical issues triggered by the policies of our northern neighbors, including policies on travel bans and advisories that will disrupt travel to the Caribbean. Taxes and tariffs beyond our control will likely drive up cost of living and precipitate uncertainty. Much stricter and changing immigration laws will affect Caribbean nationals who may face challenges when traveling to outside of the USA, and that will cause them to stay put. The possibility of a US recession in the second half of 2025 is also another very serious factor that we must stay alert to. Many international research firms like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs say it's a high percentage, as high as 45% chance that there will be a recession. This outlook is supported by first quarter data of an overall slowdown in the economy of the USA, negative GDP growth in the first quarter, and declining consumer confidence. And whether it materializes or not, this forecast alone will impact many would-be travelers who are likely to take a cautious approach to travel. The point is this: uncertainty shortens booking windows, making the business less predictable. Notwithstanding, our proximity to USA gives us a decided comparative advantage for last-minute impulsive travel.
Yeah.
We're 50 miles off the coast of Florida. We can boast that. Nobody else can boast it. And it ain't gonna change no time soon, Mr. Deputy.
No.
We have a strong brand. We have multiple destinations within the Bahamas and all the natural beauties and attributes that we boast. Our strategies have a short-term reactive component, but is also very long-term focused. We will continue to have strategic focused marketing, and for the first time since independence, Mr. Deputy, the work that we are doing are accruing positively to the overall economy, and we are very proud. For the first time since independence, we are projecting a budget surplus.
That's right. Yes.
This despite lowering VAT overall. This despite increasing exemptions for construction and first-time real estate sales for new homeowners.
Yes.
This despite lowering the tax threshold for many real estate transactions and many more fiscal measures. We've delivered for the Bahamian people
That's right.
in ways those opposite could not dream of. And let me tell you, they are apoplectic about it. And I know that's a big word.
Yes. Broke it down.
So let me drill it. Let me drill it down. I can drill it down. When they hear good news about this administration, when they hear good news for the Bahamian people and for the Bahamas, they get upset.
Yes.
They get enraged. They even get angry.
My lord.
They get apoplectic,
Apoplectic.
Mr. Deputy.
Today.
The IMF,
Just ask Siri. You just ask Siri, man.
Stop
Just
getting
say, "Hey,
apoplectic.
the IMF. When the IMF report is good, the FNM is upset.
My God.
Remarkable.
The Moody's report is good,
Take it.
but the FNM upset.
Oh, my.
The S&P report is good, but the FNM is upset. The central bank report is good, but the FNM is upset. The report from the Bahamas National Statistical Institute is good, but the FNM is upset.
Yeah.
The country projects a balanced budget with a surplus, and they are apoplectic, Mr. Deputy.
Apoplectic.
This surplus, not just for the PLP, mind you, for the country.
Yes.
This is the national budget. This ain't the PLP's budget.
This is.
The country forecasts a surplus,
Yes.
but the FNM is upset.
Apoplectic.
Infrastructure work is going on in most of the islands, but the FNM is upset. We have 50+ industrial agreements signed, bringing more money to workers, but the FNM is upset, Mr. Deputy. Civil servants getting a pay raise,
They mad.
and the FNM is upset. Minimum wage increases, the FNM upset. And when the Caribbean Journal said, well, we were the tourism destination of the year and minister of the year, the FNM was so upset they said we were lucky. Everything good for the country
Yes.
seems to upset the FNM.
Yes.
So why is it when we hear good news for the country, the leader of the opposition seems to question the veracity of what independent agencies verify, and that the people can see and feel? Now, I know, Mr. Deputy, that some of us get a little touchy in this place. So I won't talk about people's jobs. But one thing for sure is that some people on the other side in here are still professional actors. A noble profession, I might add. But acting like they understand the big picture. Acting like they care for the people of Grand Bahama, when really what they're hoping for is that we're not successful in delivering for them.
So sad.
They act like they understand the rules of Parliament, but they violate them at almost every turn when Parliament meets.
That's right.
They act like there's no strife.
That's important.
Touchy, Mr. Deputy. Touchy. Apoplectic, Mr.
Yeah.
Deputy.
Yeah.
They act like there's no strife within their own party, and that all its members are pleased with the current leadership.
Yes.
But they know that's not so.
Right.
And I heard Kalani. I heard Kalani. I heard Kalani.
Members,
Yesterday, a senior man in the F&M who says he's going to hold on to Kalani,
That's right, he ain't moving.
but they act like all is well.
Yes.
And I don't carry no brief for Kalani.
No.
My neighbor, who is an F&M, says he's a good MP, and they wish that he returned. And I've been watching him yesterday. He says that he will, but they act, Mr. Deputy,
Yeah, actors.
like all is well. And then I saw a statement, and the statement said something to the fact that they are putting the administration behind them.
Behind them.
I applaud the statement, Mr. Deputy, because remember at the beginning, I pointed out that Marco City was a member of the Minister administration.
This is pedagogical this morning.
And East Grand Bahama, who carried the red briefcase, was a member of the Minister administration. So I'm delighted that they're putting
All of them aside.
all of that
Behind them.
behind them. I applaud their chairman, Mr. Deputy. They act like there's no strife within their party and that all its members are pleased. But we see better, Mr. Deputy. They act like they have a vision, but they're blind to what is needed to move this country forward.
That's right.
But for all their presence on stage, Mr. Deputy, I can tell when they are not acting.
Yes.
They don't have the skills to mask when they don't like good news for the Bahamian people. They don't have the skill to mask when they're being enemies of progress, Mr. Deputy. They like the nosy neighbor peeking through the blinds when you buy a new refrigerator, Mr. Deputy. He see you struggling trying to get it inside, but they don't come out to help. But we're building brand new homes.
Yes.
We're giving out keys.
Yes.
And they don't like it,
No.
Mr. Deputy. We're building new hospitals.
Yes.
And they don't like it.
My God.
We're building new airports. And they don't like it. We're building new schools.
Yes.
And they don't like it. We're building roads and bridges and docks and putting in new infrastructure throughout the islands of the Bahamas. And guess what? They don't like it. We just signed a big deal in Grand Bahama and they don't like it either.
Show up. Show up.
But we're going to have a beautiful development at Grand Lucaya. First class, along with the redevelopment of Port Lucaya and the airport coming too, and they don't like it. You would think they would be happy for Grand Bahama.
That's right.
Especially having 3 of the 5 seats in the House Assembly. But they're not happy, Mr. Deputy.
The chair recognizes your honourable member for St. Barnabas.
We really think it's rich for the Minister of Cruises, to stand up in here to talk about a deal for the people of Grand Bahama when the Bahamian people and Grand Bahamians have not gotten any details. And in his words that he said about the deal we had, that they need to come clean on what the details are and really what it is that the Bahamian people and how they're benefiting. Not $1, Mr. Deputy. Not $1 is in the bank. Not $1 is in the bank from this deal, but yet the member stands up. But yet the member stands up and refuses to provide details for the Bahamian people. They talk about us being the enemy of progress. They are the enemy of transparency. So come clean.
I haven't read it yet, Mr. Deputy.
That's in the book. That's in the book. That's in the book.
But I'm gonna stay focused today. The devil is busy, Mr. Deputy, and it's probably from one of the pages of this book. I shall not be distracted, Mr. Deputy. But you think that they'd be happy for Grand Bahama?
No, they're not.
Especially having
They ain't happy.
3 of the 5 seats in the House of Assembly.
Only two.
But they're not.
That's right.
You see, they had 5 seats.
That's right.
They did nothing.
Zero.
And now they're confused as to why 2 can do more than 5. And they don't like it, Mr. Deputy.
No, they don't like it.
They're confused as to how 2 became greater than 5. And they don't like it, Mr. Deputy. And so,
2 from 5 means 0.
and so they try to cast doubt.
Yes.
They try to cast doubt and aspersions,
Yes.
but they just don't like it.
That's right.
They had 5. We got 2. And we're doing more. And they definitely don't like it. You see, we're about action.
Yes.
We're not just about talk.
No.
And they don't like that either. We're about delivery,
Yes.
not distractions. And they don't like it. We tabled land reform bills that will represent the biggest generational shift in land ownership in this country in modern times.
That's right. Yes.
And we are about
Yes.
empowering Bahamians to own, to build, and to prosper.
That's right.
And they don't like it. We're pushing forward with energy reform, with tax fairness, investments in tourism, education, and national development, and they don't like it. But let me tell you something. Like it or not, we're going to keep delivering results until the last nail knocks. So you might as well stop peeking through the blinds. Come outside and help. We will continue to work until the final bell rings, because the PLP does not believe in unfinished business. We believe in finishing strong, and we believe in finishing the job. Yes, Mr. Deputy, our critics in the opposition have questioned our progress at every turn. But let me tell you this. We are not finished yet. And wait until you see what we will deliver in our next term, Mr. Deputy. But back to tourism for a minute. Our tourism product in the Bahamas is not just about numbers. It's about transforming those numbers into prosperity. It's about innovation and evolution and people. It's about creating a future in which Bahamians own more, lead more, and benefit more. It's about taking the guest beyond the beach and beyond Nassau Paradise Island to explore culture, heritage, religious, tourism, sports, meetings, conventions, adventure, ecotourism, space tourism, and tech tourism. This is why we're driving technological innovation through smart city initiatives. And this is why we're launching a digital landing card. This is a major milestone which brings together the collective work of both Customs and the Immigration Department. And again, I commend the honorable member from Fort Charlotte. This digital platform is designed to modernize and streamline the entry experience for Bahamians and international visitors alike, while also strengthening national security, improving data intelligence, and enabling greater interagency coordination. What excites me, though, is that we look forward to the powerful marketing and visitor intelligence this platform will generate, offering real-time insights into traveler demographics, source markets, and travel patterns. This will significantly enhance our ability to improve tourism stopovers, fine-tune promotional strategies, and strengthen our understanding of visitor arrivals across all 16 islands of the Bahamas, improving visitor spend island by island. I'm pleased to advise the Cabinet has approved this launch, and we will be working to implement it expeditiously. The Innovate 242 initiative and the incubation centers will serve as a hub for entrepreneurial growth and tech tourism. And we're deploying Google Street View mapping of the Bahamas roads to increase global visibility and help tourists and locals navigate our beautiful islands with ease. Through the Nassau Smart City Wi-Fi program, We've delivered free public Wi-Fi downtown, empowering small business and enabling greater visitor engagement. And we are hoping that we are able to improve visitor spending by access of digital payment methods with Wi-Fi capability. In addition, our AI-powered digital marketing campaigns are driving unprecedented traffic to Bahamas.com, and new content enhancements are bringing our ecotourism and sustainable travel initiatives to the forefront. The improved chart and itinerary builder on our tourism website are transforming the way potential visitors plan trips to our islands. And we have introduced personalized email marketing powered by a new platform and first-party data strategy that's improving conversion and long-term tourism growth. I cover these details to let you know, Mr. Deputy, that we're not sitting on our hands. We're working, we're improving, we're innovating, and we are evolving. Our Bahamas Digital Edge webinar series and national digital literacy training sessions are upskilling hundreds of industry stakeholders. The Women in Tech series, in collaboration with the Canadian High Commission, is fostering greater inclusion and innovation in the tourism tech space. The rollout of our tourism learning management system, LMS, powered by AI, will soon become the gold standard for on-demand, on-island hospitality, education, and certification. Bahamas on steroids, Mr. Deputy. At the heart of this transformation is the redeveloped Tourism Development Corporation. This, I maintain, is one of the most revolutionary initiatives in the history of tourism in the Bahamas. We have long talked about linkages. We have long talked about empowering Bahamians. The TDC is a hands-on, result-driven engine for empowering Bahamians. Since 2023, we have engaged hundreds of new entrepreneurs in Abaco, Bimini, Exuma, Grand Bahama, New Providence, across the 8 major sectors of tourism. We are rolling out to Eleuthera this month, to Cat Island and Andros by July. It gives me great pride to stand before you, South and Central Andros, today as I reflect on the remarkable work we've done to empower Bahamians through our many tourism-focused development initiatives. Our commitment to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise development is equally evident in our monthly webinars, which have focused on knowledge growth and tech support, as well as a focus on education and upskilling. Yes, a steady stream of knowledge sharing, skill building, business planning, and international certifications, all tailored to help our people thrive in tourism and related industries. We are creating opportunities for our people, island by island. In 6 cohorts so far, we have certified 372 lifeguards across the Bahamas and Exuma, Eleuthera, Grand Bahama, and New Providence, with a 7th cohort scheduled for the end of this month in New Providence. And very soon, I'm hoping to be in a position to advise the Department of Immigration that work permits for lifeguards in the Bahamas are no longer required. These efforts not only create jobs, but also raise safety standards in our tourism offerings to mitigate risk and create opportunities. The Hospitality Assured program, managed in conjunction with the Caribbean Tourism Organization and the Hospitality Institute of the UK, has made the Bahamas the envy of our regional peers. Another signature program is Home Sweet Home, that we foreshadowed in our Blueprint for Change, our grant and vacation rental supportive initiative. Through this program, we've awarded up to $1.1 million in funding to Bahamians across 12 islands, enabling them to compete, upgrade, and modernize their vacation rental properties, which improves our room availability. It improves their average daily rates. It improves their opportunity to create wealth for themselves and their families, and it puts more money in more pockets all across the islands of the Bahamas. This effort includes hands-on training and the creation of standard operating procedures to raise the quality and competitiveness of our local accommodations. We also launched our Pilot Incubation Center, a game-changing initiative that has helped 13 Bahamian entrepreneurs move their businesses from home-based startups to physical storefronts. The vendors have received support and funding for their business plans and websites and technical support and e-commerce development so that they not just focus on local, but they shift their attention to international business as well. A new cohort is now being transitioned into the pilot space as we prepare to establish larger centers in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma. In fact, I'm proud to tell you that physical construction in the Grand Bahama incubation at the Royal Palm will begin in earnest within days, Mr. Deputy. I know the member for Pine Ridge will speak to this. But in partnership with the Bahamas Development Bank, we introduced the GLO grant loan offering, which combines $100,000 in grant funding from the Tourism Development Corporation with technical support focused on financial planning. This program provides our entrepreneurs with the resources and guidance they need to secure sustainable success. We've also invested in critical linkages to strengthen our tourism product. The Agri-Tourism Council has provided international certifications, supported farm-to-the-table event upgrades, and funded local farmers through technical support and grant funding. Similarly, the Creative Tourism Council has energized our orange economy through mentorship programs, training sessions, festivals, exhibitions, and film productions. We've sponsored and supported these initiatives in meaningful and tangible ways, with additional funding and grants and support going towards the continued development of our nation's creative professionals. Youth entrepreneurship remains a priority, and through our Generation Impact program, we've hosted high school entrepreneurship symposiums, we've sponsored Youth Product Expo, and we've conducted in-school entrepreneurship courses, all enhanced with Bahama Host training. And in September, we'll be launching the very first TDC Junior Achievement High School cohort, a pioneering initiative that will seed the next generation of Bahamian tourism business leaders. And through our street musician program, we now have 6 performing, occupying downtown Nassau with rhythms of rake and scrape and junkanoo.
Excellent.
And we're looking for more right now.
Yes.
So this is a call, if you're musically inclined, to seize these opportunities. This not only enhances the visitor experience, but also supports local musicians in a meaningful way. In our ongoing effort to beautify downtown Nassau, we've commissioned 5 talented muralists to transform selected walls along the Eastern Corridor into vibrant canvases, celebrating our heritage, creativity, and national pride. And we are helping Bahamian artists turn public spaces into vibrant expressions of identity and pride, while also creating new economic opportunity in arts and entertainment. We foreshadow that this will take root and morph into an art district, hopefully into one of the side streets, where we can have bars, coffee shops, opportunities for artists and artisans, artistic impressions, expressions, including poets. And yes, we are creating real opportunities for creative artists to thrive. Additionally, we launched the Spark program, a structured grant facilitation effort supporting entrepreneurs in the blue, green, and orange economies and space tourism. And through this program, qualified applicants can apply for up to $10,000 in grant support for their business expenses. Together, these programs reflect a deep and enduring commitment to expanding opportunities across the tourism landscape, island by island. And they show what is possible when vision is paired with action, when strategy is tied to execution,
Yes.
and when Bahamians are given the support they need to innovate, to grow, and to succeed.
Yes.
We are building a more resilient, inclusive, and dynamic tourism industry. One investment, one island, and one Bahamian at a time. And we will continue to use traditional marketing strategies that work as well as digital marketing and AI-powered tools. And there is no doubt that given the challenges, we will need to spend more to achieve the same results. And I thank the Minister of Finance and my colleagues for their awareness and their understanding that we must continue to keep our shoulders to the wheel and keep our money working for us. We have launched new tourism missions in Canada at the end of this month, and I returned from a mission to Orlando and Miami 2 hours ago, telling the story of our lifetime of islands.
Yes.
And we are actively exploring emerging markets,
Yes.
including South and Central America, Middle East, Africa, and India. And we're enhancing our overall product and focusing on key niche markets, including digital nomad programs, medical tourism in partnership with the Ministry of Health, and niche sectors like fly fishing, game fishing, and ecotourism, especially in the Family Islands. So we are calling Bahamians in West Grand Bahama, in North Abaco, in South and Central Eleuthera,
Yes.
in Maikal, Bimini, all across these islands to get involved with fly fishing and build new bonefish lodges.
Yes.
And we're here to help the agencies of government, including the Tourism Development Corporation, the Bahamas Development Bank, the Small Business Development Center, the BAIC. We are all here to help. To bolster the strategy, we're making it easier to connect. We started direct flights servicing Farmers Key and Ragged Island already. And we're starting Rum Key before the end of this month. And as we continue our work towards driving tourism growth and diversifying the Bahamian economy, our strategy is rooted in product development and market expansion, ensuring that benefits flow to Bahamians across every island. The Tourism Development Corporation will continue to use its resources to support targeted initiatives that add value to our tourism offerings and create meaningful opportunities for our people. We're also enhancing our visitor experience with improved icon signage, helping to showcase the unique cultural and historic landscape and story of our islands with consistent quality branding and wayfinding. And we're thankful to His Excellency Jamal Rule, who has lent his creative genius to the Ministry of Tourism and the Tourism Development Corporation to embark on this project.
Yes.
And yes, we are 2 down and 14 more to go. Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, Andros,
Yeah.
Bimini.
Yeah.
Mr. Deputy, we're also leaning into medical tourism. The global market is growing rapidly, and the Bahamas is well positioned to modern legislation, and we must capitalize. We've lowered VAT to just 5% on stem cell therapies, which supports the development of longevity and regenerative medicine right here at home. We're doing this in close collaboration with the Ministry of Health as we work to establish the Bahamas as a regional hub for cutting-edge care and medical tourism. We continue to proudly support our regattas, homecomings, and festivals because we know that culture is not just who we are, it's also a powerful economic engine. These events drive domestic tourism, it support local businesses, and create jobs in every community they touch. So as we strengthen our tourism product, we're also being bold and aggressive in expanding our international airlift, because access drives arrivals, and arrivals drive economic activity. And I am pleased to announce that we have secured new airlift from Toronto from Montreal, from Halifax, from Calgary, from Hamilton, and from Ottawa. We're expanding
They want good news.
partnerships with Sunwing, Air Canada, WestJet, and another major carrier that we are going to announce shortly.
Yeah.
I can talk some today, Mr. Deputy, and I can keep some.
This will make them apoplectic.
But these additions, these additions are critical to unlocking more of the Canadian market and extending the reach
I tell you.
of our family islands. This is not by chance, this is not coincidence, this is strategy, this is not luck, Mr. Deputy. We're continuing to ramp up airlift from Florida,
Yes.
using Bahamas Air strategically to connect key source markets with our family islands and increase frequency during peak periods. Regrettably,
They don't like it.
yesterday we saw the collapse of Silver Airways that services many of our islands from cities in Florida. We regret this and that it has caused some inconvenience. However, we have swiftly mobilized our contingency plans, and Bahamas Air will provide additional flights and more capacity on these routes beginning shortly this month to fill the void. And we are actively engaged with all of our major airline partners to do likewise. And we have met with all of our small carriers as well, who service much needed routes in our family islands. Makers Air, Aztec Air, and others, Tradewinds. We are leaving no stone unturned. And I am pleased to report that Makers Air will be providing very soon daily direct service to New Bight Cat Island.
All good news.
And that's not by chance, and the MP for Cat Island ain't lucky. That's strategy.
Yes.
And we'll be adding a third flight to Long Island.
Oh, yeah. Coming for Long Island.
That's not luck. That's not chance, and you better believe that's strategy.
Yes.
And these enhancements, Mr. Deputy, are directly tied to our mission-driven marketing efforts and reflect growing demand for a more untouched, authentic island destinations.
Yes.
He might be a little upset, Mr. Deputy.
So much good news.
Might be a little apoplectic. As we continue to monitor our competitiveness, to sharpen our strategic focus, as we look to our Caribbean counterparts and some of the gains that they've had, we are becoming even sharper in our approach. A number of our regional neighbors, many of them smaller and traditionally less known tourism destinations, embarked on a deliberate, coordinated campaign to expand their connectivity through increased airlift. Antigua, St. Lucia, St. Martin, Grenada, St. Kitts, Cayman Islands, Turks and Caicos. These are all so-called boutique islands. And we concede no ground to them, Mr. Deputy. But to be clear, we must continue to sharpen our edge.
Yes.
The advantage of our product is that we have a market to match of similar size and offering. They got 1, we have 16. We will continue to expand connectivity, both direct, international, as well as domestic commuter services. We will be consistent in the message they sent to the marketplace. We are open, we're safe, we are ready, and we have a product worth flying for.
Yes.
And these efforts are already paying off for us. What we must do now is meet the moment with coordination, with boldness, with speed, and with more financial muscle. And to continue to grow and to compete, we must continue to target investment in room inventory, particularly in the all-inclusive space. So I call on hotel partners to expand room inventory, particularly in the family all-inclusive space. And I've said before that we need to double our inventory over the next 5 to 7 years in order to stay in the stopover game. And I will talk shortly about some of the things that are happening in this space. But the all-inclusive model has evolved. It is no longer just for budget-conscious travelers. It is now a fixture in the luxury market, in the family market, in the couples market. Major global brands, Hyatt, Marriott, Hilton, have entered the space in a serious way. And if we are to remain competitive, we must ensure our pipeline of hotel investment include a healthy mix of boutique, luxury, and all-inclusive offerings. The future of Bahamian tourism is not one size fits all.
No.
It is diverse, it is adaptive, and shaped by the demands of today's travelers. Mr. Deputy, we cannot discuss connectivity without revisiting a model that we in the Bahamas helped to conceptualize. Using Nassau as a hub to serve the family islands, we must now expand and re-energize our hub concept throughout the region. The 16-island destination model is working. Airlines and our guests find it attractive. We recently launched our Lifetime campaign in major cities across the USA, emphasizing that we are not just one island, but we are a lifetime of them. It will allow us to maximize air efficiency, airlift efficiency, and profitability across several territories as we seek to attract long-haul services, as we are actively doing from the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. We're accelerating the advancement of our fully integrated inter-island airlift system, complete with regional interline and code-share agreements, carrier partnerships, and family island incentives where necessary. Mr. Deputy, the matter of safety cannot be overlooked. And therefore, I call on every Bahamian to understand that tourism is everybody's business.
Yes, sir.
Many of the boutique islands we compete with have benefited from the perception, and in many cases the reality, of being safe, tranquil destinations with no or low travel advisories. Our distribution partners speak with us, and they have made it clear that safety is a key selling point.
Yeah.
So I call on Bahamians once more, everywhere, to understand that tourism is everybody's business. It gives travelers confidence, especially in a world still recovering from the disruptions of COVID-19 and ongoing geopolitical uncertainty. The Bahamas must protect and promote its reputation as a safe destination, and this is a call to all Bahamians to not disrupt the goose that lays the golden eggs. One such example is rogue jet ski operators, which resulted in a U.S. advisory specific to this activity. In response, the Prime Minister and the government formed a multi-agency task force to support the resource and to work on the work of the Port Department. The TDC has supported this work with the purchase of jet skis and other equipment to bolster surveillance and to build more confidence in this popular activity. This is only an example of the strategic cross-agency collaboration with law enforcement, the Ministry of National Security, the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Tourism, to ensure proactive engagement and communication. Also, we must continue to tell our own story to the international community, to ensure accurate, up-to-date representations of conditions on the ground and the diversity of our destination in this archipelago spanning 100,000 square miles.
Yes, sir.
I intentionally lay out great detail today, not just to use my 2 hours, Mr. Deputy, but I want the Bahamas, every island, to understand that we are not asleep at the wheel. Our eyes are wide open. Our strategy is aligned, and our commitment is resolute. What we are calling for today is a strengthened public-private partnership, the kind of partnership that recognizes that the world is shifting,
Yes.
and that only a unified, consistent, and nimble response will allow us to outpace the competition. There is no room now for silos, no room for fragmentation.
No.
Our communications, our marketing, our LF planning, our financial services, and investor outreach, these must all be cohesive.
Yes.
So when financial services tell the world that we are an ideal place to live,
Yes.
work, and play,
Please.
we support that message. We must speak in one voice to our one goal, keeping the Bahamas at the forefront of Caribbean travel. The roadmap is clear. The challenges are real, Mr. Deputy, but so too is our readiness and our resolve to confront these challenges. We have the tools, we have the team, we have the tenacity, and the Bahamas will not just keep pace, we will continue to lead. Mr. Deputy, in the vein of continuing to invest in targeted niche markets, both to support the growth in the number of visitors, but also to deepen their relationship with the Bahamas, one area that we are looking at, and it's underexplored, is tourism relating to the film and television industries. Over the years, we've licensed a number of productions to be filmed here, but have been constrained by the lack of physical infrastructure and limited talent pool. In terms of the physical infrastructure, we lack dedicated production studios, along with all the ancillary equipment and services which support them. In terms of the talent pool, despite the high level of interest expressed by those in the creative industries, we do not have, in significant numbers, highly trained, highly skilled talent in the creative, performing, and production arts in sufficient quality and quantity.
We got one over
In
there.
sufficient quantity, Mr. Deputy.
We got one over there.
Thankfully, with the upcoming opening in September of the new Creative and Performing Arts School of the Bahamas, CAPAS, we will soon have talented Bahamians trained to world-class levels to bolster the ecosystem. CAPAS has signed a partnership with one of the top 3 Hollywood agencies, the United Talent Agency, not only to support that training, but also to help to attract international productions to produce in the Bahamas, and to use Bahamian talent in as many casts and crew positions as possible. In the past, one of the biggest obstacles to productions here was the lack of incentives for filmmakers. We are one of the few jurisdictions in this space which does not provide concessionary tax arrangements incentives to attract productions. And this has put us at a serious disadvantage and made us non-competitive. In order to support CAPAS graduates in finding work and to build a studio and infrastructure here, the time has come to correct this. And I am therefore pleased to inform the House that in the coming months, I will ask my colleague to introduce legislation to provide a framework for tax incentives and duty-free concessions for audiovisual productions and overall productions here in the Bahamas.
Yes. Very good. That's talking, brother.
This opens the door not only to single productions, but also to the prospect of long-running series being shot here in the Bahamas. And I see Marco City likes this. What a departure, Mr. Deputy. But we wish to be the first country of choice, not only for any production which requires a tropical setting, but also which requires talent of the highest order. The potential benefits to tourism, education, and culture cannot be overstated. I continue to return to the point that we need more rooms as a part of the long-term growth strategy of stopover visitors. And we have attracted many of the top brands like Montage, Six Senses, Park Hyatt, Bulgari, Rosewood, Ritz Reserve, and others, which bolsters our reputation as a premier luxury destination. And we also celebrate our authentic Bahamian-owned boutique resorts, like Curly's Beach Resort in Bennett Harbor, Cat Island. Yes. And we should give him a round of applause. Yes. I was honored to support his opening recently. And I remarked that this is the type of development in tourism that we must celebrate. We must continue to embark upon owning tourism through public and private investments. We are expanding hotel stock on Cable Beach, downtown Nassau, and we have launched an RFP for a new hotel at the Lynden Pinland International Airport. I am encouraged by the interest that we see with new hotels and residences on Bay Street. I am further encouraged by the renewed interest of Bahamians investing in the hotel industry. And our Home Sweet Home program is giving Bahamians a real stake in the vacation rental industry for persons listed on Airbnb and other booking engines. And these efforts means more beds, more stays, and more dollars circulating in the economy, in the pockets of Bahamians, on every island of the Bahamas. Mr. Deputy, I am honored to have been asked by the Honorable Prime Minister to hold responsibility for aviation. And our portfolio continues to soar. Two young women, Asia Thurston and Brittany Ford from Ragged Island, are excelling at the Qatar Aeronautical Academy.
Yes.
They're blazing trails and showing the world that ragged may be strong, but ragged is mighty. And we have recently signed an MOU with the Mid-Tennessee State University to expand access to aviation education. We're developing more MOUs globally and launching the Bahamas Aeronautical Academy to consolidate training for flight attendants, airport managers, avionics, aviation mechanics, air traffic controllers, and much more. We're also investing in our future leaders. The Emerging Leaders Program we launched for tourism. We're now expanding to aviation to recruit the brightest and the best Bahamians we can find between the ages of 18 and 35 with degrees in tourism, hospitality, marketing, entrepreneurship, aviation, innovation, economics, and business. We also have a robust cadet program for future aviators that we will be expanding through the Bahamas Aeronautical Academy. Our partnership with SpaceX emphasized the point that the sky is not the limit. We can go further. And we see Bahamian aerospace engineers like Aisha Bowe, like James Murray, and Denton Gibson working in the aerospace industry, but outside of the Bahamas. And it further triggers the need for us to be more innovative and aspirational in creating opportunities for Bahamians. We're not standing still, Mr. Deputy. We've just signed a game-changing MOU between Bahamas Air and Emirates Airlines for an interline agreement. That's right, Emirates, one of the biggest, most respected names in aviation. And this deal connects our national fly carrier to a global network that spans Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, and well beyond. This isn't just a photo op and a handshake. It's a serious step forward. And starting soon, travelers from around Emirates network will be able to book a trip to the Bahamas on a single ticket. no complicated, fragmented bookings. Direct from anywhere Emirates flies to anywhere Bahamas Air flies. Imagine you could book from Dubai, Mumbai, Nairobi, or Seoul, and you'll be able to plan that journey seamlessly as if you were flying to New York or London. But you have a final destination in Anagua, or Maiguana, San Salvador, anywhere Bahamas Air flies. This is truly a partnership that gives us reach. It gives us visibility, and it sends a clear message that Bahamas isn't just a Caribbean destination, it's a global one. But the benefits don't stop at the booking page. Emirates will also work with Bahamas Air to offer training, technical support, and opportunities to improve service delivery. That's capacity building in real time from one of the best in the business. Our airline will be stronger for it, our team will be sharper, and our visitors, they'll feel the difference. We're also exploring access to Emirates Skyways frequent flyer program, one of the top loyalty platforms in the industry. And that means more high-value travelers could have the Bahamas on their radar, earning and redeeming miles to get here. And that's smart marketing. That's real reach. And this partnership strengthens our position for both cargo and for passengers. And even better, this agreement comes with a joint marketing strategy as we pursue more emerging markets. This is a chance to tell our story to the world in new languages, in new audiences, in new places, and on a scale and a reach we've never had access to before. This is what building forward looks like.
Yes, sir.
And we've been saying for years that we want more out of our national airline. And now we are creatively delivering. We've said we want better access to long-haul markets. And here it is. But we're not done yet. We're consistently working for the Bahamian people, island by island. It's proof that the Bahamas is thinking big and acting bold. We're ready to compete, to connect, and to grow. And we are just getting started. Bahamas Air remains a vital part of our strategy. We're optimizing operations, reviewing expanding routes, exploring fleet upgrades, and improving our customer experience to ensure Bahamas Air is not just a carrier, but it is a symbol of great national pride, safety, and reliability. You know, Mr. Deputy, many Bahamians sometimes make jokes about Bahamas Air. But I watch them when I sit in Fort Lauderdale Airport. Right. And Bahamas Air pull up with that Ministry of Tourism logo on his tail. Right. Yes. And there's an overwhelming sense of pride. And they look in awe as they say, that's our things. And we continue to be proud of the work that the management and staff of Bahamas Air do on a daily basis. And they do it safely, Mr. Deputy. On coming to office, we launched the Family Islands Renaissance Project to revitalize 14 airports. It was and is a very aggressive undertaking. We have made progress, and there is still more to do. We are in varying stages of these developments. We recognize the myriad demands on our resources. We understood that to expedite these developments, we required public-private partnerships, dispelling the notion that the government must fund everything. We have completed Great Harbor Key and Ragged Island. We are working active construction at the moment on Cat Island, New Bight, Cat Island, Arthurstown, Cat Island, in Bimini, Georgetown, Exuma, and Maiguana. And I want to say a special thanks to the Ministry of Works for their support in these endeavors. We are doing modest works across the country and in Naughty Lutra in particular to improve the working conditions right now, as we continue to work to build the new terminals. Several months ago, Mr. Deputy, we executed an arrangement with the Saudi Fund for Development for the funding of several airports. We've been steadily working to complete the onerous process that is very similar to some of the multilateral agencies. We have not drawn down any proceeds from the Saudi Fund for Development loans, and the committed funding remains available to us. Let me repeat that for the benefit of mischief makers all across the country, Mr. Mr. Deputy, not in Naughty Lutra. We have not drawn down any proceeds from the Saudi Fund for Development. That's right. And the committed funding remains available to us.
Yes.
Understanding, however, the expediency required in executing these projects, we've also entered into a public-private partnership agreement with Island Airport Development Group and Plenary Capital, who have a track record of executing quickly. With the collective funding available through these various facilities and with the support of the Ministry of Finance, we anticipate construction will begin shortly on Naughty Lutra, Grand Bahama, Governor's Harbor's runway, Long Island, Black Point Exuma, Rock Sound, and Crooked Island. And let me send a special message to Long Island, the home of my mother's birth. I assured you before that you will get your new airport, and I am now even more confident than I was a week ago that we will shortly execute a contract for the development enhancement of 6,000 feet of asphalt runway at Deadman's Key, Long Island. And let me look in the camera when I say to Long Island. Yes. We will do for you what they have not done for you. Not in 4 years, not in 50 years. We're going to make it happen for you, Long Island. We are reviewing several proposals for public-private partnerships on several other airports, including North Andros. Each of these projects represents jobs, opportunities, and expanded access. The Bahamas has also witnessed an unprecedented wave of investment, signaling a robust commitment to national development and prosperity and enhanced investor confidence in the Bahamas. Since assuming office, our administration has facilitated over $12 billion in investments across various sectors. Let me repeat that. Since assuming office, the Bahamas Investment Authority and our administration has facilitated over $12 billion in investments across various sectors and across various islands, complemented by hundreds of millions in government-led initiatives. This equates to at least 10,000 new jobs in the pipeline and thousands of new hotel rooms. In addition to the many mega projects announced, there are eco-resorts, high-end residences, boutique hotels, and many major tourism projects across the islands. These investments are at varying stages of development. The $700 million Celebration Key Port project is expected to be completed and opened during July 2025. That's next month, Marco City. This is real. I hope that you will show up, Marco City. This is real. And we expect that we will double overall arrivals on Grand Bahama Island by December 2025. And Celebration Key, they're hiring, selecting vendors, Bahamian vendors, and they have advanced a very aggressive construction site. This is real. And we're also seeing active construction on the $600 million Grand Bahama Shipyard expansion. The Norwegian Cruise Pier in Berry Islands, the Royal Caribbean Island Club on Paradise Island, the Torch Key Resort in Exuma, and many, many more. And I know many times the Bahamian public see us breaking ground, shovel in hand, and hard hat. So it gives me great joy to tell you that we are creating jobs. We are creating opportunities. And many of these projects are in their fairly advanced stages of development. We're creating real jobs and real entrepreneurial opportunities, infrastructure and empowerment opportunities, island by island. So when I look at the phenomenal growth in tourism and the advancement of these projects, there is no doubt that we are seeing the lowest unemployment levels in decades. And the numbers don't lie. And yes, we're making progress. So no matter how upset the politicsters become and how they seek to denigrate our work, we're making progress for the Bahamian people island by island. So who mad? Let them stay mad, Mr. Deputy.
That's right.
Turning to downtown Nassau. Downtown Nassau is finally beginning to receive the transformation it has desperately needed for far too long. And we are witnessing 30 to 40 years of decay, and we're now doing something about it. But let me be clear. Let me be clear that fixing decades of decay that you did nothing about, fixing decades of decay will not be corrected overnight. But this government is moving aggressively to breathe new life back into the heart of the capital, to return it to its rightful place as a vibrant, walkable, commerce-driven hub of Bahamian culture, heritage, and innovation. But let me also be clear about this. The government cannot do this alone. Revitalizing Bay Street requires a true partnership, a collaboration between public and private stakeholders, and critically, the full participation of the Bahamian people. We are embracing a live-work-play strategy that reimagines the area as more than a daytime retail zone. Instead, it becomes a dynamic neighborhood where people live, do business, and enjoy world-class leisure experience. Already, we've seen tangible signs of momentum. Property owners are contacting us and asking how they can help. Yes. They're not just peeking through the blinds, Mr. Deputy. They're coming outside and they're asking us, what can we do to help? At least 2 new hotel projects are under active consideration, along with a major entertainment development that could serve as a cornerstone for the downtown revival, especially east of East Street. These represent credible interest and the beginning of real change. You're turning old into new. We've demolished 10 buildings, and we anticipate next week to begin the demo of the Levy building. And we believe that this is an ideal space for a boutique hotel with residences and marina.
Yes.
And we believe in walking the walk.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Talk about opportunities,
Yes.
island by island. We're leading by example, but we're not done yet. If it is an historical building, we ask that property owners access the incentives under the Downtown Revitalization Act. To the owners of dilapidated properties that are not protected, we ask you to fix them
That's right.
or demolish them or come in and speak with us. If you don't demolish them, we will,
Yes, sir.
at your cost. And I thank many of the property owners who have already risen to the occasion. And we are calling on Bahamians, especially those who own property in the downtown areas, to continue to join this movement. There's enormous potential here, from restaurants and rooftop bars, jazz lounges, to rake and scrape spots, galleries, shops, and live entertainment venues, Our international cruise partners have indicated interest in staying later. And this creates real opportunity for a thriving nightlife economy along Bay Street. But we must meet that demand with experiences worth staying for. The product has to be there, and the government will facilitate. But we cannot do this alone. And to that end, we're launching an exciting new initiative this quarter, a mood market concept we are calling Bites on Bay. Food trucks have already been ordered, and this space will serve as an anchor for a vibrant, family-friendly entertainment hub. We are calling on Bahamians and visitors alike to return to downtown,
Yes.
not just for shopping, but for energy, culture, and atmosphere. We need more restaurants. Bahamians, we need more quality restaurants, more rooftop bars, and more creative spaces. And the good news is we have credible investors ready to support those with credible ideas who are willing to step up to the plate, facilitated through and with the Tourism Development Corporation, the Small Business Development Center. We'll be putting out a formal call for entrepreneurs with specific plans to engage, build, and to invest.
Yeah.
This is about creating major opportunities for entrepreneurship and empowerment with real backing, real resources, and real support from the government of the Bahamas. We need Bahamians to step now as we continue to revitalize Bay Street.
Yes, sir.
We're also accelerating investments through the TDC, which is expanding an incubation center focused on authentic Bahamian goods and services. This will provide a platform for emerging entrepreneurs and creators to bring their products to market and to visitors in a way that reflects the true essence of the Bahamas. This is more than a facelift for Bay Street. This is about reclaiming a piece of our national identity and turning it into a living, breathing economic engine. We are not waiting for change. We are helping to build it.
That's right.
And we invite every Bahamian once more to become
Part of it.
a part of it.
There you go.
Mr. Deputy, it is sometimes surreal that I stand in this place representing the beloved people of Exumas and Ragged Island. And when they elected me on May 10, 2017 for the first time, I promise that I will continue to serve them with diligence and never stop fighting for them. In 2017, I laid out a bold and practical vision for my constituency, Aviation 2030, a strategic plan designed to unlock the full potential of Exuma and Ragged Island through deliberate action, sound policy, and sustainable development.
Yes, sir.
We updated this plan in 2021 to reflect the changing times and the evolving needs of our people. I consider this plan my contract with the people I serve.
Yes, sir.
This contract outlined 10 core commitments, each one grounded in a belief that our communities deserve opportunity, dignity, and long-term prosperity. And I am pleased to report steady progress, meaningful and steady progress under this framework. First, there were 10 prongs to this plan. First, on the matter of jobs and job readiness, we have made significant headway. Exuma enjoys strong employment and near full employment. We've established a local jobs and skills bank, ensuring that those seeking employment can connect with available opportunities. So if you are willing to work, call us. We are here to help you to find your path. Second, entrepreneurship and empowerment. We have conducted workshops for business planning and technical support. We've worked closely with financial institutions and development agencies to ensure that Bahamians with ideas and ambition have access to capital support and mentorship. We are seeing a surge of new ventures from tour operators, artisans, to food vendors and service providers. Real benefits are taking root. Thirdly, youth development. Each year we hold youth symposiums, college entrepreneurial fairs, opening gateway of opportunities for our youth as we support the schools and communities across the district. We have built and restored parks and playgrounds, many of them, Mr. Deputy. Camp BAF, conducted by Mrs. Cooper, is seeing its 10th consecutive year this summer. 4, on health and wellness, along with the Minister of Health, we're advancing the satellite clinics in the Exuma Keys. We're not where we want to be yet, but we're working on them. Yes. The work on the Ragged Island Clinic continues, and we are seeking to expedite the satellite clinics in the Exuma Keys, and with the help of the member for Tall Pines, we're expected to receive additional doctors, nurses, and technicians to arrive soon at the Exuma Health Campus. We've conducted health fairs, sponsored and supported dental and eye care clinics alongside private partners. 5th, scholarship and education. We celebrated last year the opening of the Stanya Key School and the Ragged Island School, thanks to the member for Engliston. And we've also received the BTVI satellite campus on Exuma. Through the Louise Cooper Scholarship Fund, we have supported dozens of students, and through our annual college fair, we've connected many with full scholarships, full ride scholarships to universities and colleges abroad. We have given Exumians access to training in cutting-edge fields such as aviation, marine sciences, technology, and hospitality. Mr. Deputy, I take this calling seriously, reflecting on the fact that as a poor boy from Forbes Hill, I would not have been able to go to college, and my life's trajectory could have been incredibly different. 6, infrastructure. We've restarted the work on Georgetown Airport. We'll be executing construction contracts on the Black Point Airport soon. We've completed 40 miles of road in Exuma, the smoothest in the country, south and central Eleuthera. We've installed new water mains in Barrett Harry, Georgetown, and Little Exuma, with additional facilities in Roll Town, thanks to the member for South and Central Andros. And I'd like to tell the story of how I waited 50 years for running water in Forbes Hill, Little Exuma.
Wow.
I'm delighted to be the member of Parliament who's now making it happen.
Drink the water out the torch. Drink the water out the torch.
We have built a new bridge in Stanyel Key, and there's more to come.
More to come.
We know that Exuma was punished during the last administration,
Oh, Lord.
but we're finally getting our share.
No point of order?
Point number 7, punished by the Minister administration.
All of that.
And remember, I defined the Minister administration earlier. They were all there.
They were all there.
Some sat quietly like a church mouse.
Point of order.
7.
The chair recognizes the honorable member for St. Anne's.
I've heard a very promising contribution from the Deputy Prime Minister, who, while Silver Airways announced they were pulling out of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas yesterday, was enjoying receptions and meetings with foreigners in foreign lands. Yet he now appears just, I think, touching on water going into Fox Hill, a place he once lived, if that's what he was saying. But what caught my attention earlier, Mr. Deputy Speaker, and what are mistruths, is he attempted to lay claim to the Great Harbour Key Airport and the Ragged Island Airport, which are both Free National Movement products. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the Ragged Island Airport was opened in December of 2021. There's no way, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that is something this PLP administration has done. Great things were, Mr. Deputy Speaker, being done in the downtown area when Senator Randy was involved. He, however, was moved to price control, and there hasn't been any activity down there until the great fire, Mr. Deputy Speaker. A great fire that this Prime Minister has overlooked, but destroyed the homes of 29 families, Mr. Deputy Speaker. So when we talk about revitalizing downtown Bahamas, let's not talk so much about food trucks, but let's talk about having persons living back in the community. And as it comes to politics, Mr. Deputy Speaker, since he's holding his little colorful book up again, we know the master of politics, Mr. Deputy Speaker, is the member of Cat Island, Rum Key, and San Salvador. And Exuma and Ragged Island today is blowing into his little pipe a song, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that exemplifies politics itself. He should be ashamed of himself. And if they want me to give another, point of order, I'll gladly do so. But let's hear what you've actually done, not what you're promising to do. You're in your 4th year and you're on your way out.
Deputy.
Your leader should be able to tell you what was built in Ragged Island. I went through it.
Politics aside.
You all didn't build it.
Politics.
You didn't build it. You built nothing.
Politics aside,
You
Mr.
built
Deputy.
nothing.
Politics aside.
Built nothing.
Let me firstly say that I'm not going to be distracted.
That's right.
But secondly, I want to remind members on the other side that there are rules that govern this House.
Yes.
And when they stand on a point of order, they must say what their point of order is. And they have, I believe, like all members, at least 1 hour to speak. And when they
City have two.
and Marcus City has 2. So when they stand, they can say whatever they wish, Mr. Deputy. But this is my time, so I want to talk about number 7 under Aviation 2030.
There you go. That's right.
On public safety,
Yes.
we have launched the Exuma Volunteer Fire Brigade, and I am delighted it is received with great enthusiasm. We have more than 40 volunteers at the moment. We have strategically donated and positioned water trailers in strategic locations across the island, and I am pleased to announce that we have donated, delivered, and landed a fire truck and we've donated it to the Exuma Volunteer Fire Brigade. We thank the Royal Bahamas Police Force
Yes.
and the Minister for National Security for their support with training
Tingling symbol over there.
and structuring of the Exuma Fire Brigade. Next week, we are donating fire extinguishers to stalls at the fish fry
Yes.
and other food vendors across the island.
Yes, sir.
Let me just say thanks to the people of Exuma who've returned me to this place in 2021 with 73% of the votes, Mr. Deputy. But yet I don't sit on my laurels. I made a commitment to completing the job.
Yes, sir. Use what time?
And therefore, point number 8, community development.
Yes.
We continue to strengthen our community associations and cultural institutions. Facilities such as the Forbes Hill Cultural Center and the new Entrepreneurial Incubation Hub provide safe, inspiring spaces where residents can gather, collaborate, and build. We hope to advance that incubation hub soon. We have refurbished more than 5 basketball courts, thanks to the support of the Minister responsible for works. We actively support homecomings, festivals, and almost 10 regattas across Exuma. That's why we are the sailing capital of the Bahamas, Mr. Deputy. 9th, we have continued to champion the values of local government and volunteerism. From community cleanups to civic campaigns, the spirit of Exuma and Ragged Island is alive and active. And 10th, sustainable development. It guides every decision we make. We're relaunching Exuma Pride. We're encouraging responsible and respectful development. We're attempting to build communities that honor the natural beauty of our islands while securing a bright future for generations to come. We'll be updating our master plan with the help of the community, designing for the future orderly expansion, and we're going to restore Georgetown. We're not there yet, but we'll never stop working for the people of Exuma.
Yes, sir.
We've attracted $1.5 billion of new investments to the island. Many of them are already creating jobs and opportunities. We've encouraged Fidelity Bank to come to Exuma to expand access to banking as a partner to ensure Exumians have appropriate access to capital for building houses and businesses, and to continue to improve the overall standard and quality of life. Speaking of houses, Mr. Deputy, I'm going to talk some today,
Yes, sir.
and I'm going to keep some. But ultimately, we hope to be able to hold Exuma up as the model for the development of communities across the Bahamas,
Yes, sir.
island by island.
Yes, sir.
But let me be clear. This progress is only possible because of the collective efforts of the people. The residents, the Team Cooper volunteers, the entrepreneurs, the public servants, and the community leaders who continue to put their hands to the plow and their shoulders to the wheel. And I thank them sincerely, Mr. Deputy. And as I travel throughout Exuma and Ragged Island, I see the difference in people's lives, in the infrastructure they use, the new roads, the new water mains, the new schools, the jobs they hold, the homes they build, the confidence and the pride that they carry. It reminds us that with smart execution, we can transform even the most remote communities. Yes. And to the people of Exuma and Ragged Island, I thank you for your trust. The journey continues, and together, we will keep pushing forward. And as we approach the next general election, whenever that may be, I remind this House and the Bahamian people that this budget is about impact.
Yes.
It's about expanding opportunities, and it's about people. It's about completing what we started and building what is to come. The Progressive Liberal Party asks for a second term, not for glory, but for duty.
Yes.
To finish the work.
That's right. Yes. Finish the work.
To solidify our legacy.
Yes.
And to build a Bahamas where no one is left behind.
That's right.
I am exceedingly proud of the work that we have done.
Yes.
We've expanded opportunities, one island at a time. But as I conclude, I would be remiss if I did not express my deep appreciation to the hard-working men and women across the various agencies under my remit. These teams often work behind the scenes and over time, and they play a critical role in advancing our national development goals and keeping key sectors of our economy running efficiently and professionally. The Ministry of Tourism, the Tourism Development Corporation, which continues to drive innovation and product development across our islands, to the Hotel Corporation and the Hotel Licensing Department, which remain focused on standards, partnerships, and opportunities. Their dedication is moving the sector forward in real and measurable ways. I also thank the Bahamas Investment Authority,
Yes.
the Gaming Board, Nassau Flight Service, each of which support our vision of a modern, responsive, and diversified economy. In aviation, we are supported by an outstanding team across multiple entities: the Airport Authority, the Civil Aviation Authority of the Bahamas, and the Bahamas Air Navigation Services Authority. I send special love to the air traffic controllers today, Mr. Deputy, all of whom are working in concert to modernize our infrastructure and ensure safe compliance and excellence in service delivery. The Lyndon Pinland International Airport, through NAD, continues to set the bar as the region's premier airport. NAD's work was recognized by the Airport Council International, who awarded LPIA the 2024 Best Airport for Latin America and the Caribbean region. Freeport Airport Development Company, a well-run agency, has been instrumental in our continued focus on providing quality service as we restore Grand Bahama's position as a strong aviation hub. And of course, I extend sincere thanks to the team at Bahamas Air,
Yes.
not just as our national fly carrier, but as a great source of national pride and as a strategic tool in supporting economic development, expanding airlift and connecting our islands. Their efforts are central to our broader goals.
Yes. They live here. They live here.
The work of these agencies give me great pride and great confidence in our direction and in the capacity of Bahamians to lead and to deliver across every sector we touch. Mr. Deputy, I'm proud to say that we have put in the work as an administration over the last nearly 4 years. We have turned vision into action. And now, with the support of the Bahamian people, we will finish the job. We've set out our goals and our blueprint for change. And with a second term, God willing, we will take the Bahamas into territory that our forefathers hoped for in their wildest dreams.
Yes.
Because the Bahamas is about promise turned reality,
Yes, sir.
about vision, becoming that which we can touch and feel.
Yes.
It is in small part about a young boy growing up in abject poverty with no running water, no electricity, and no lunch money, latching on to the promise of those who set up systems for him to progress
Yes.
and achieve success. I assure the Bahamian people of my continued commitment to good governance, to servant leadership, and the highest standards of integrity in public life.
Yes.
The Bahamas is for all of us, and it is our intention that the Progressive Liberal Party helps to realize it for all who would reach for it. And this is why today I stand proud on behalf of the people of Exuma and Ragged Island to support this budget that expands opportunities, not just for Exuma and Ragged Island, but for Bimini and Berry Island,
Yes.
for Grand Bahama and Anagua,
Yes, sir.
for Maguana and Andros, for Harbor Island and Spanish Wells too.
All of it.
We are expanding opportunities.
That's right.
Island by island, all across the islands of the Bahamas.
This is powerful.
I pray that God will continue to bless you all.
Yes, sir.
And I trust that he will continue to bless the magnificent 365 islands of the Exumas and the more than 20 islands of the Jamento Keys that we refer to as Ragged Island. And may he bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you, Mr. Deputy.
All right, Deputy. All right.
Thank you, Honorable Member. As many? The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Michael.
Mr. Speaker, it's a great pleasure and honor that I rise in support of this government annual budget fiscal year 25-26. At the forefront, I wish to thank Almighty God for giving me the strength to stand here today, and also wish to thank the constituents of Michael for giving me the opportunity in support of standing here on their behalf. As your member of Parliament, I understand the challenges and the pressure that we have. I assure you, your voice and your vote did not go in your parliament and administration have been committed to development and progress of Michael, and I can say with confidence that our seat, that our best days lies ahead.
Yes.
I'm grateful and honored Prime Minister Wade Davis, and we honored of service in the cabinet of this service cabinet and this Minister of State for Aviation. I also thank the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Investment and Aviation and the Prime Minister for his support and for the past 10 years, or for the past years, I am also privileged to serve alongside him as Minister of State for Aviation. I emphasize that your job is one, service, and we believe, too, big people, we became too small to lead them. Mr. Deputy, also we would be remiss if we did not commend the heads of the various aviation departments and agencies and Department of Aviation, capable led by Director of Aviation, Dr. Kenneth Romer.
Yes.
Over the years, their members embraced as members of them and demonstrated that aviation isn't what we do. Aviation is who we are. Mr. Speaker, we should remind that on the first day of July 23, the Bahamas Department of Aviation delivered on a complement of government bulletins for change by implementing the historic Bahamas National Aviation Strategic Plan. This plan not only alleged with global best practices, but also became a respected template and model available to excellence throughout the region and indeed globally.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, Mr. Deputy, in 2025-2026 budget reflects the value and policies laid out in detail in Blueprint for Change and harness new opportunities and creates a new era in progress and renewal. Not only is this year's budget progressive, it's also historic, as this was the first time since independence we secure and achieve a balanced budget with surplus.
Yes.
Historic achievement, however, is not just the result of good luck. It is reflect good governance, good governance of things, good governance of this Davis administration. In this budget, we observe several expenditure and policies action measured that are specific to aviation. They include mobilization, government for the better and more effectiveness, governance of accountability, stipulating private investment across the Family Islands, investment in people, and fourth, strengthening the public infrastructure across this archipelago. Mr. Deputy, this administration has become focused on improved airport infrastructure and development. We continue to make progress brings out vision of life in building airport future across our archipelago. These airports model name, technology, culture theme, administrators, and our government commitment to sustainability and resilience. Over the past year, we sought to standardize and service at many family island airports. We complete design each of 3 airports tier classification. The approach will result in great efficiency, great costs, great savings, and greater transparency in the procurement of procedures and less time for construction. As a structural engineer, I'm pleased that our airport facilities will not only be best in class, but best also in the region. This affirms our belief that not only is it better in the Bahamas, but better for tourism, but it's best for the Bahamas tourists for aviation. We have achieved and what set out to achieve in the next fiscal period in this new just for talks. Rather, it's tangible evidence in your government at your work as we have been working. Mr. Deputy, some way currently in the pipeline include new multi-million-dollar terminal at the South Bimini, along with rehabilitation of runway, apron, and the taxiway. A multi-million-dollar terminal for Exuma International Airport, complete with a new tower crash fire rescue building and a $35 million rehabilitation to the runway and apron and taxiway. A new terminal, extended runway and Black Point Exuma, a new multi-million-dollar terminal, new by Cat Island, along with rehabilitation of the runway and apron and taxiway. A new multi-million-dollar terminal at Atherstone, Cat Island, along with rehabilitation, runway, apron, and taxiway. A new multi-million-dollar terminal, Desmond Key, Long Island, along with the rehabilitation and runway and taxiway. A multi-million-dollar North Eleuthera Airport with rehabilitation and runway and airport and taxiway. Completion of multi-million-dollar at Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera with rehabilitation, runway, apron, and taxiway. A multi-million-dollar at Roxanne, Eleuthera, along with rehabilitation, runway, and apron. A multi-million-dollar taxiway, Grand Bahama International Airport, along with rehabilitation and runway and taxiway. Mr. Deputy, we are addressing an airport and landside upgrade at Mash Harbor, Treasure Key Airport, Abaco, Staniel Key, and Farmers Key, Exuma, Rum Key, and San Salvador, Fresh Creek, Mango Key, still that's Long Island. And I have saved the best for last as we get ready to open a new terminal building in Magona. A few
All right,
weeks,
Basil. That's right.
beginning terminal improvement and airside work at Crooked Island a few weeks ago, and delivery on the terminal and airside upgrade in Nagua and Atkins.
Good work, Basil.
Under this administration, Michael have been in good hands, and the best yet to come. Mr. Deputy, in addition to the airport that are in the pipeline, this seems to come an office we already cut ribbon for, airport in Ragged Island and Great Harbor Key. We must also celebrate the $10 million runway upgrade Linden Finland Airport and Linden Finland International Airport. Mr. Deputy, since coming to office, our actions have indeed spoken louder than our words, and in the Bahamas has tangible evidence of your governance at work for you. You are only making history. A balanced budget we are making by building airports. In addition to the airport projects, our aviation agency continue to work together to support asset states of governance own aviation assets and aid equipment and to identify repairs needed. This progress and unified approach has resulted in the installation of new Popeye Light system in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Governor's Harbor, North Eleuthera, and Exuma International Airport. We also install radar lights as well as windstock to several airports. Mr. Deputy, while we are lesser focused on a building project, we set equal value in building people. Yes. As we agreement for several people, we are people focused. Our great asset is giving us the competitive advantage. Increased competitiveness, minimizing risk, and optimizing human capacity, we continue to ensure that we are optimizing industry to develop of our national strategy. That is why we enlarge an industry-wide talent search to attract the best and brightest aviation team members. 2 weeks ago, NAD held a very successful job fair with hundreds in attendance. Bahamas Air recently conducted recruitment for additional cabin attendants. Airport Authority Guard graduated new screeners. Freeport Air Development Company, Bimini Airport Development Company, and Nassau Flight Services have taken on an additional team members. Banza brought a new air traffic controller training. Civil aviation is going through internal staff restructuring to improve efficiency. But we are just recruiting new hirees, not just new hirees. They're also trained and retraining existing team members as for our overall success. This year, we started industry-wide Service Excellent People. Almost 200 team members have been trained to date. By the end of the year, we will have graduated over 300 persons, Aviation Service Excellent Ambassadors. So far, we have talented ambassadors from across the section of agencies, including Air Traffic, Air Accident Investigators Authority, Airport Authority, Bahamas, Air Traffic and Navigational Service, Bimini Airport Development, Civil Aviation Authority, Bahamas, Freeport Airport Development Company, Nassau Airport Development, Nassau Service, Royal Bahamas Police Force, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Bahamas Customs, Bahamas Met Department, Air Transport, Bahamas Association of Air Transport Operators, Odyssey, and Jet Nassau. In addition to serving training, we have also been busy rolling out technical training across the industry. We also continue to remain compliant with ICAO standards and have received recognition from our cooperation, including implementation and best practices. Mr. Deputy, eyes of the region and of the Bahamas aviation industry. Bahamas claims it ranks among the best of the best. Last year's budget debate, we have hastened to understand the unprecedented number of aviation-related evidence on our Bahamian shores. They are Conference of the Americas, American Association of Airport Executives, the Latin American and Caribbean Air Transport Association Forum, International Federation of Air Traffic Controllers Conference, the Route American Conference, the heads of one as the best of organizations has ever seen in its 20-year history. Mr. Deputy, additionally, this year we will host the Bahamas Aviation Safety Forum. In July, we also host in Nassau the Ambassador, the Caribbean Heads of Handlers Forum during this year's celebration. In Tulsa, the first time we ever planned to host the Bahamas Innovation Symposium. Additionally, International Civil Aviation has already announced plans to host the Historic Law Summit in Nassau of next year. As a government of that belief in the birthing of dreams for the next generation, we are pleased with strides we are making in creating a better aviation tomorrow by starting today. As we made stories in the advancement of the Bahamas Aeronautical Academy, in fact, we have already established partnership with 4 globally respected territory agencies. During the next academic year, we'll be commissioning of our first cohorts of aviation cadets at C.V. Battle High School in Nassau, the Bahamas.
That's good. Great job, Basil. Aviation is doing good.
What's called?
Good job.
This will be followed by established additional cadet program at the government and the private schools in New Providence, as well as Grand Bahama, Exuma, Long Island Aviation believe in youth empowerment. Mr. Deputy, as part of our talented retention and successful planning strategy, we are pleased to launch our Center for Aviation Emerging Leadership with 30 years high potential already identified. This emergency leader will equip the tools, provide leadership in innovation in aviation. We will also be utilizing second and retired aviation professionals. These respects industry giants will give several and members of the next generation of aviators. As a country, we must never discover the contribution that persons who sweat and tears and build this industry. We want to know that this Davis administration applauds and apprentices that their labor and love over the years. Again, I say, show me appreciation. That is just bluff. That is a fact. It is first. It is a fact that the first aviation history, we held the first Aviation Honored Award ceremony held at Government House this past October. This initiative part of the annual Aviation Week activities that was proclaimed by the Honorable Prime Minister. During a ceremony, the 50 aviation trailblazers were presented with national medals, recognition of their contribution over past years. Mr. Deputy, it is said that could tell a lot about a country and its leadership by observing the way that they treat its youth and its seniors. It is true people don't really care that you know they want to know that we care. Again, Davis administration has demonstrated that it cares for people, and it cares for aviation. This is why we are being busy rebuilding our partnership with unions. We have been sitting together with them at the time at partnership in progress. We are building airports, addressing urgent infrastructure needs, creating opportunities and for entrepreneurs and stakeholders. We are building a bridge for the future of new airports. Managers, leaders, and a wide range of cross-section aviation professionals. We are building relationship with international and local communities. We are building trust throughout our industry. And this is what the 25-26 budget reflects. It reflects the value of policies laid out in the detail in our blueprint for change and build on progress our three previous budget with an agenda that is discussed on security, opportunity, affordability, and reform. Mr. Speaker, I am also grateful to rise on behalf of the people of Michael, who have afforded me the opportunity again to speak on their behalf. I would focus a little on each of the island of Jamaica, Michael, starting with the island of Magona. Once again, the years I have continued to speak about the condition of the terminal, of the airport terminal, of the buildings. The engineer of record for the I Group in 2006 started the works at the airport. We know that the project came to a stop and nothing had happened. That is, nothing happened until after the Progressive Liberal Party administration came into office, led by Philip Davis, Member of Parliament for Cat Islands and Salvador and Ramkey. I am pleased to report that the new terminal is expected to be complete this month.
That's good. The same one they saying is complete.
And we have a brand new airport, which deserving.
Tell them where to be. One of them. Say where it can be.
Which,
Where the new airport can be. Tell them.
Megona.
Tell them. Tell them.
Megona. The road works will continue and coincide with other works, thanks for the action of the hard-working member of Parliament and the member of
Public Works. Public Works.
South Central Neutral. I also wanted the people to know, we're going to know that in this just a few weeks, mobile medical unit will be dispatched to Parliamentary.
That's good.
While medical clinic is fully staffed, the building structure is needed of some renovations. And now I turn my attention to Inaugural. I'm pleased that there are a number of existing roads and new paving existing in the pipeline, including resurfacing of public docks at the marina. The air terminal, which is more than 45 years old, I am pleased that this concern being addressed in the construction of the new 3,000 square foot of airside. And I am also pleased to announce the perimeter fencing that was blown down some years ago. A local contractor was also addressed, other than such as one space for social services. It is my intent, Mr. Deputy, to seek and identify all historical buildings, preserve them as touristic sites, such as the original prison, that is the jail compound, and inclusion lighthouse towers with others housekeepers resident on the compound. Mr. Deputy, I'm also pleased that government has awarded the contractor, the local contractor, the critical work to the clinic. That should be completed over the next few weeks. I further advise that the Minister of Health and Wellness will be bringing good news about an ambulance and additional staff.
That's good.
Mr. Speaker, I now turn my attention to Crooked Island. I can say that some touristic development are taking shape on the island, in which the settlement that also include the marina. In fact, the developer has already completed 6 cottages and 8 rooms motel. It is expected that construction of a new clubhouse with restaurant, bar, pool, etc., would be accommodated. Again, I note, Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker, that all works are being carried out by local builders,
Bahamian builders, eh?
Bahamian builders.
All right.
With development currently taking place at Pittstown, I am assured that this will help justify installment of even more infrastructure work, like the dock at Crooked Island. The government have already started some road works, pavement on Crooked Island, and look forward to seeing it complete to the coming months. As the Minister of State for Aviation, I am also pleased to announce that the long anticipated aside, Crooked Island Airport is going out of tender, going out to tender. This will address the cutting of ribbon that will allow Bahamas Air and other air carrier to land without obstacles limitation. I know my attention to Acklands. I am let the people of Acklands know that the water system that were waiting for so long is now ready to be shipped to the island. The base has already been constructed and only now await the arrival of the plant.
Good progress.
I can let them know that this will be complete installation, bringing relief to them in a few months' time. As I continue to take my way through the constituency of Michael, I now briefly turn to my attention to Long Key.
What?
The chair recognizes the honorable member for St. Anne's.
Point of clarification, I got notice that there was a Exuma in Ragged Islands directing him. Gentleman is an elderly gentleman. He can very well speak for himself. The airport in Mayaguana, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
The chair recognizes the honorable member for Exuma and Ragged Island.
Withdraw and retract his comment.
Yeah, the comment
As a
will
matter
be
of fact, Mr. Deputy, why is he standing? You don't interrupt the speaker on a point of clarification. Only a point of order can interrupt the speaker. He knows better. Well, he ought to. He's been here long enough to know better, Mr. Deputy. But he consistently does it. We consistently speak to him. He is a
It will be
This must end,
expunged.
Mr. Deputy. It must end. It must
It
end
will be
today.
expunged.
Deputy Speaker, point of order.
Point of order. The chair recognizes the
The
honorable
member for
St. Anne's.
Michael has represented in this House that the government has built the airport in Mayaguana. That is actually an I-group project, airport construction, Mr. Deputy Speaker. And the people of Michael, Mr. Deputy Speaker, wanted the record corrected. They wanted the record corrected, Mr. Deputy Speaker. The people in Michael know that that airport is not done by this PLP government. It's been done by the I-group, Mr. Deputy Speaker. And the record should remain that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go straight down. Don't mind it. Go straight down.
I said that.
Go on, Sam. Don't worry about it.
However, we as a government still have an obligation to Long Key, in spite of it only having a few people. Long Key has one of the world's largest population of flamingo, and significant heritage will not work along with the Ministry of Tourism for that. Mr. Deputy, it is evident that the new government is restoring economy and the resurrection of the good.
You can take your time. It's okay.
Resurrection of the good.
Don't mind it.
Sorry, of the good company. The Southern Island can look forward. Southern Island can look forward to the continued economic explosion that creates the opportunity for. Yes, sir. Yes.
Here's evidence.
the Davis Cooper administration being left at Michael and New Hope and Dreams, but not just now. Ordinary dreams, big dreams, bold dreams, and brave. In 2025, reflection value of the population of our of the blueprint for change, it will progress in our new previous budget with agenda focus on security, opportunity, and freedom. I will not be dismissed, thanking the people to give me an opportunity to serve them as a member of Parliament for this being my last dream, and I am grateful to have the people of Michael I've had the opportunity to serve the people in Michael, already indicated publicly that I am not intend to seek re-election and pledge my full support to the Progressive Liberal Party.
It's not coming on that side.
The candidate who will replace, the candidate who will continue to complete with me, great work's already in pipeline. I will continue to fight need.
Don't worry about that.
I'm forgetting.
Basil, close this off. Basil? I will continue to fight.
I will continue to fight for the need of the medical of Michael for the remembrance of my time in office.
That's right.
With that, I rest.
The chair recognizes the honorable member for Freetown.
Yes, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I would move for the suspension of the business of the House to 3 p.m. this afternoon.
Is there a seconder? It has been moved and seconded that the business of the House be suspended until 3 p.m. As many as are in favor will remain seated. Those opposed will stand. The motion is carried. The business of the House stands suspended until 3 p.m.
All rise! A blessed good morning.